moment it was announced, young Catholics around the world have been excited to be a part of World Youth Day 2023 in Lisbon. Hundreds of thousands are counting the days until they'll spend a week in Portugal with Pope Francis. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti. World Youth Day is just 2 weeks away. And aside from evangelizing young Catholics, it's also revitalizing a community.
The stage that the Lisbon City Council has prepared for World Youth Day has attracted the attention of the international community for one detail. Its construction will cost almost $5.5 million. The executive director of World Youth Day Madrid in 2011, Iago de la Sierva, spoke about these expenses with the mayor of Lisbon, who will receive the Pope during the pilgrimage.
I think the controversy regarding the stage is one that has no real basis, and perhaps the confusion comes from a problem of miscommunication, that it has not been well explained. What the mayor explained to me is that an area of the city that was neglected and in poor condition has been improved. It has been left fully prepared for many events in the future.
He explains that good communication and financial planning are just as important in preparing for World Youth Day as building plans.
The important thing is not only where the money comes from, but also to be transparent, to know to the last euro where it comes from and what it has been spent on. Transparency is fundamental because you have to be accountable. This is not only because society deserves it, but also because the Church has said that you have to be accountable, and Pope Francis is an example of this.
De la Sierva further argues that although the purpose of World Youth Days is not to bring money to the host country, if the organization is efficient, an event of this magnitude can be very beneficial.
World Youth Day is a big business for the city that organizes it, if it is organized well. If it is well organized, if you take care of the resources and are prudent, you do things with public support.
De la Sierva says a preliminary financial analysis of the economic impact World Youth Day Madrid would have on the Spanish economy was around $400 million. And there's still time for you to go to World Youth Day in Lisbon. That'll happen the first week of August. Just go to lisboa2023.org/EN for the English version of the site. The register button will be in the upper right-hand corner. The Pope's peace envoy is in Washington for a meeting today with President Joe Biden. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi's mission is to advance humanitarian relief and peace efforts in war-torn Ukraine. His White House visit follows recent meetings in Moscow and in Ukraine, where he met with President Volodymyr Zelensky. The plight of Ukrainian children taken to Russia tops his agenda. There is growing excitement for the papal visit to Mongolia. Cardinal Giorgio Marengo will welcome the Holy Father there on August 31st. It's the first ever trip by a pope to the country, which lies between Russia and China and has a small Catholic community of just over 1,400 people. The visit is significant because of its proximity to China, where the Vatican is trying to improve the situation of Catholics. Turning now to a topic affecting colleges and universities around the nation. After the Supreme Court ended affirmative action, schools had to shake up their admissions process. But at St. Francis College, it was a chance to reaffirm Catholic values. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has the story from downtown Brooklyn.
Hello, St. Francis College admissions office. How can I help you?
Sabrina Taya isn't Catholic. She's a practicing Muslim. But at St. Francis College, her faith is accepted and embraced. As a rising sophomore, Sabrina says she remembers applying to St. Francis, knowing she was being looked at as an individual.
It made my admission here more genuine. It was more about who I was and getting to know me and my experiences before that.
That's how St. Francis College looks at every prospective student, regardless of race, religion, or financial status. Robert Oliva, the vice president of enrollment management, says in the wake of the Supreme Court overturning affirmative action, St. Francis is more committed than ever to inclusion.
Overturning affirmative action has actually allowed St. Francis College to reaffirm and double down our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, values that are intrinsically Franciscan.
At St. Francis College, 65% of the school are students of color, and every student admitted receives some kind of tuition assistance. Figures Ali Scott, the director of marketing, government relations, and community affairs, says are some of the ways the school keeps to its Franciscan values.
We are about making sure that everyone has an opportunity to get the education that they deserve.
After the decision, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops called on Catholic colleges and universities to uphold their commitment to education access. In a statement, the USCCB said in part, quote, "It is our hope that our Catholic institutions of higher learning will continue to find ways to make education possible and affordable for everyone, regardless of their background." Sabrina says maybe the decision will force other colleges to do what St. Francis has done all along.
I think that this will have an opportunity for colleges to actually get to know the people that they're admitting more, rather than just know the statistics that they have on paper.
Sabrina works in the admissions office. She says if anyone applying to college feels like the Supreme Court decision hurts their chances, St. Francis College might be the place for you. In downtown Brooklyn, Jessica Easthope, Current News.
For college graduates across the nation, student loan payments will soon resume. Borrowers will begin their monthly payments again in October. They were paused in 2020 because of the pandemic. The Biden administration announced a new student loan plan last Friday after the Supreme Court struck down its first forgiveness program a month ago. The new plan allows borrowers to match their monthly payments to their current income and family size. Still, Americans are scrambling to prepare for the new costs. One public school teacher is working summer school to make extra money. Tim Hughes says he regrets taking out student loans.
When I look at my students, I feel like I'm doing them wrong if I tell them to set their sights on college and if they're going to have to take on loans.
According to one estimate, 44 million people will owe roughly $200 to $300 each month. And finally tonight, we would like to humbly report that the Currents News team has received 2 regional Emmy nominations. Our broadcast on the funeral mass of fallen NYPD officer Jason Rivera was nominated for Best Evening Newscast. Our report about a World War II veteran's missing remains returning home for burial in the Diocese of Brooklyn was nominated for Best Human Interest Story. Congratulations to the Currents News team and good luck. The awards will be announced in October. And we want to thank you for your viewership and supporting our journalism mission to tell your stories. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.